Welcome to Mecum's Gone Farmin Vintage Tractor Auction, featuring the only classic tractor auction of its kind in the country. Today, some of the hardest to find tractors in the world will hit the auction block. So sit back and relax and enjoy Mecum's Gone Farmin Vintage Tractor Auction.
Well, hello everyone. It's a sunny day right here in the heart of America. Of course, I'm talking about Walworth, Wisconsin, and the Mecum's Gone Farmin Classic Tractor Auction. I'm your host, Mike Holland, along with Max Wilson. And Max, as the people pour in here today, you can really sense the electricity in the air.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people coming in here looking for that one tractor they just cannot live without.
Of course, all the viewers out there watching us on RFD-TV, we have plenty of action that you can follow along on today's auction. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Mecum's Gone Farmin right here in Walworth, Wisconsin. As the next tractor makes its way up, we won't waste any time. Let's get back to all the action. It's a 1959 John Deere 430 TLP.
Yeah, and once again, just another one of those tractors that you do not see too many of. One of 128 built. Got the single front wheel, the front weights, the pro paint. Another beautiful restoration. Has the deluxe seat on it. Now the neat part about these is if you actually look right behind that fuel tank, also has the deluxe fenders on it, but right behind that fuel tank, you can see that little rib in the side. When they were building these, they didn't expect the demand to be too high, so they were actually using up some of the 20 series parts. And it actually looks like it's off a 40 or a 420. And what it was, they just couldn't blend all that in to make the 30 series sheet metal look right. This also has a tilt wheel like a late 420 would have. But just a super restoration on this tractor. Yeah, this tractor was restored 2 years ago. But $20,000 right now, I mean, that's getting right up there with that John Deere M all fuel that we had here a few tractors ago.
And that one, the bid's going to go on as well. This is kind of a section of our featured tractors here.
Yeah, now we've got this John Deere 40 crawler. Once again, beautiful restoration. Has that deluxe seat on the back of it. I was actually talking to the guy that restored this. He said that this one here was probably one of the nicest crawlers he's gotten done as far as everything being done and good parts used on this.
Well, they have lifted off the reserve on this 40 crawler, so we'll be going home to someone today.
And Big Paul's up there talking to the owner now. And
makes up for the other one a little bit. Boy, it sounds good. That thing sounds good. Oh, yeah? That sounds cool.
5750 bid right now.
And that one moves out for $57.50. And with that, we're going to take a break in the action to go to our field reporter, Kevin. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, we're here with Bill from Precision Mechanics. Bill, you brought a couple of tractors here today. Tell me briefly, what are the two tractors that you brought with you?
We have two John Deere 4020s, both 1972 models. One is a power shift and one is a synchro range with factory duals.
So you also do stuff for other people as well?
Yes, we do. We have a large customer base. We do every make, model, color, anything imaginable.
Well, great. Thanks very much for talking to us today. Good luck at the auction.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
That brings us to our next lot, which is S44, a 1972 John Deere 420 power shift.
Yeah, power shift, roll bar with canopy, copy of original owner registration form included, one owner, new paint, new rubber all the way around. Has that Robson canopy on it. Just a beautiful restoration on this tractor. Got everything that all the 4020s that have brought good money with Gone Farming here. It's got all the stuff. It's a 72, it's got the roll bar and the canopy, and it's a power shift.
Of course, they're doing everything just like my grandmother did. They've even wrapped the seat in plastic.
Yeah, and of course, right out of the gate here, we're at $20,000, $22,500 now.
Of course, the plastic on the furniture always doing its job. We never wanted to sit on plastic. It was always uncomfortable, so it certainly protected the furniture, kept us from sitting on it.
Yeah, and of course this one here does have a set of weights on the front of it, the side starter weights, and then the two slab weights on it. So $24,000. They got the flashing warning lights going on the fenders here.
And as we can see, Paul has pulled in Dan, talking to the seller there. Of course, Paul asking him to hold on just a minute.
GFI, 7.5, 24.7.5. We're playing for keeps, 24.750. We're about ready to get off the reserve, 24.750. We're that close, 24.7.5.
And the reserve just pulled off of this tractor.
You go get more money. Yes, 7.5 your man's out.
Thank you. That way it's done deal. 24,750. And it's not the boys. Yeah.
Wow, we've seen some really good sales here today.
And it rolls out at 24,750, bringing us to lot S45, which is a 1972 John Deere 420 Synchro.
Yeah, and once again, dualed up here. This is another beautiful restoration on this tractor. Got the synchro range transmission in it. Got the wheel.
I knew it was sitting something, Max, but this one's got 4 tires. It's got to be worth twice as much.
This one's got synchro range transmission, so that was the other option on a 4020. This one here, I was looking at the sheets that the guy has with it. He has quite a substantial amount invested in this. New load and depth shaft in it, new tires, clutch, new radiator, synchro range. Another beautifully restored tractor. Has dual hydraulics on it, the ROPS with the canopy.
Max, explain to our viewers, for those of you, I know that tons of farmers certainly watch our show, explain to them why the 4 tires versus the 2.
What it was is it was mainly for flotation out in the field as the implements got bigger. The narrow tires were not enough to keep a tractor up, or they figured out putting more tires on also in muddy conditions kept you up. You didn't get stuck near as often. Although I found when you do get stuck with duals on, you're usually stuck twice as bad as you were without them. So $20,000 bid on this 4020 right now.
Which I think is a steal for this particular tractor.
Yeah, you don't see them this often, or you see quite a few of them that are restored, but the amount of detail was done on this.
And they're going to close the bidding and let the bidding go on at $20,000 on that tractor. And Max, with that, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. There's plenty more tractors coming up right after this. That's going to bring us to lot S95. It's the 1941 John Deere H with parade seat. Yeah, I've actually sat in one of these during the tractor parade that broke the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, this one here, nice little restored H with the fenders on it, and then got the seat back there so that your wife and your kids can ride with you. Now, of course, you look at that shot right there, and it looks like that belt pulley's turning backwards, Mike. And it is. What it is on the H is they actually ran the belt pulley off of the camshaft, so that turns the opposite direction of the crankshaft. Kind of a unique little thing there on the H's. They were the only ones that did that. $4,000 bid on this H. $4,500 bid on this H, and I'll tell you what, the H's have been selling pretty good today with that collection that came through with the matching equipment and everything. And the bid's going to go on that H at $4,500. It's going to bring in S96 as a BF Avery with the cultivators on it. And of course, the Avery's kind of a unique little tractor. Don't know much of the history on them. Certain areas they were very popular. This one's set up for looks like cultivating 2 rows. We don't even have much information on this tractor on the Mecum website, which is what I use to make myself sound so smart on some of these tractors. So,
well, I think this is one of the late entries actually that got in here.
But looks to be a pretty nice restoration on this, and like I said, we see them once in a while come through here at the Gone Farming auctions. $3,400 on this tractor. Sounded like it ran really well when it came through. Of course, BF Avery, I do know, did become part of Minneapolis Moline.
And it moves out at $3,500. Next up to bid is lot S97. It's a 1955 Farmall 400.
Yeah, and this one here in its original work clothes, I would have to say, or a very early restoration. Has a Farmall wide front on it. Tires are decent. Has a standard drawbar on the back with the single remote out of the rear of the tractor. Does have the original bill of sale with it also. That's always a unique piece to have. Does have the belt pulley on it too. A lot of them were taken off because a lot of these tractors end up with a mounted picker on them, or with the cultivator you couldn't have the belt pulley on it. So an original tractor with the original bill of sale. $4,700 bid right now on this tractor. We have our friends from up in Waterloo, Wisconsin up here are bidding on this tractor, and I know they do like good original tractors just like I do. That's why I do like going up and visiting with them once in a while, because they do have a good collection of nice original tractors. So.
Well, this would certainly add to it. And selling it for $5,000.
Now this one's getting the nylon
it's
string
getting the toe
treatment.
in. There we go. Okay, now this one is a unique looking tractor. It's lot S98. It's a 1931 KC. It's a great looking tractor though, Max.
Yeah, these are nice little standard type tractor. Actually broke a lot of ground with these tractors, breaking a lot of the prairie ground. They were just a old workhorse. This one here, if we can get a shot there around in the back, it's actually got that handle just by the right fender. That was used for landing a plow. When you were working on a hillside, your plow would get a little bit off, and you could use that to slide your drawbar over to keep your plow and register with the tractor. Very unique little tractor, selling at no reserve.
You can't share it. 7,700 and break the tie. 77, thank you. Now $1,000.
Rebuilt like newer paint and the drawbar level, which is what they're referring to as that landing lever there on the side. So, and I gotta say, usually these little C's, they don't get much love from the collectors because there were a lot of them out there, but they are a neat tractor. The cases were always very long stroke and a very gutty little tractor, very low RPM, but a lot of torque there.
Somebody's going to get a deal at trying to.
Looks like we got a little bit of late action here as they're rolling that tractor by.
He wants to tell you one more time, does run fine. Since the clutch sticks a little bit for safety's sake, we are pulling the tractor through.
Okay, so the reason it's not running is the clutch sticks a little bit, but he said it is a good runner, so. 900 bid. Kathy's over here working on a bidder, and he said no, so she's going to go back up to the front where she can see if she can pick someone else that's putting their hand in the air.
And Max, I think the auctioneer just made clear to the crowd this tractor does run as soon as you let them know that it does run just fine. It kind of spurred up the bidding again.
Yep.
Well, and it moves out at $1,300, about $500 more when it's stalled out. And Max, as that last tractor rolls out, we've got Kevin outside with some special people. Kevin, who do you have for us?
We're here with Diane Schneider. She's with Cabela's. Diane, what have you brought with you for this auction?
Well, we're very excited. We brought out two of our great packages, our tailgate package, which has a lot of great things for when you're going out to your local football game, or maybe you just want to keep it in the backyard for some family coming over. And then our camping package, which includes our 10-person tent with our Adam and Eve sleeping bags and some great chairs and things to take out camping with you.
Now, you're going to be auctioning these off, and what is the purpose of that auction?
Sure, we are here to help support the Kids Care Program, which is a foundation built to help support kids with cancer.
Diane, it's great that Mecum and Cabela's could come together and support such an important cause. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Cabela's capping package.
Of course, one of our sponsors here. We want to thank Cabela's, another charity opportunity here from Mecum's Gone Farmin. After I think a lot of the people kind of figured that out, the auctioneer reminding them this is for the kids.
Yeah,
I think the arms started going up a lot more at that point.
Yeah, this is the Curing Kids Cancer benefit. So we're not selling one of the neon signs, but we've actually got this camping package that Cabela's has donated to us. So.
And of course, one of the things that's probably difficult to pick up on television, we're here in the middle of all the action. The auctioneers, I love it when they actually get involved with the crowd. He'll call somebody out specifically and have a little back and forth with them and have a little fun at the same time. And this is one of the advantages that a professional auctioneer can certainly have over simply placing an ad in a paper or something like that. He can create that opportunity, and I love it how when somebody's bidding on something, he'll give them the eye and kind of nudge them along and make them feel bad if they don't keep that bid going.
Yeah, either put the guilt trip on them or make them laugh.
Yep, they are very, very good. Of course, Mecum Auctions has some of the best auctioneers in the country and really in the world. These guys certainly gear up to do this. They certainly know what they're doing.
And that's going to sell for $2,000. And now we have another package here from Cabela's, a tailgating package that the proceeds are also going to curing kids cancer.
Of course, being right here in the middle of pro football country, Green Bay Packers. Of course, we are just about an hour south of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right here in the heart of the Midwest. And about an hour and a half north of Chicago area, a lot of pro football, so this tailgating package is certainly will certainly be fitting for someone who wants it today.
And that one's going to sell for $1,600.
Well, folks, Mecum's Gone Farmin is a course about tractors, but another piece of Americana history and another part of our show is the vintage signs and collectibles. Let's take a look.
84 milking shorthorns, double-sided tin, 28 by 20. And that one's going to be hanging up here in the rafters, too. Another nice-looking old sign. And it's amazing, Mike, sometimes just these different signs for the cow breeds or pig breeds, and what those will actually bring. And I think a lot of them, they like having them because they may be from a local area or they might have known the farmer. I think drives the price a little bit on it. But $400 on this milking shorthorn sign.
Sold at $400 to the telephone.
And that's going to sell.
Lot M85 is going to be in the backstage.
$400 to the telephone.
Model A, and she's brand new in the box. Find me another one, Paul.
Yeah, here we go. This ought to be a real interesting. I was interested to see this one. M85 is an arcade tractor, an original cast iron arcade toy with the original box, Model A John Deere. This is, well, of course, styled. It'd have to be from the early 40s.
Don't take your kids.
No, not something you'd want your kids playing with. Of course, right now, $1,000 for a toy tractor. And that is something else that I do collect, are some of the original farm toys, but I can buy a running A John Deere for $1,250. So $1,500 bid now on this arcade John Deere model. And we've got a phone bid on this. $1,750 now. And this is just amazing, Mike, to see one of these sell on an original arcade Model A toy tractor with the box. And this is just amazing, Mike, to see one of these sell. And it's going to bring us to M86, a Stoughton wagon, single-sided wood sign, 98 by 14 inches. $1,500 right now on that sign. Yeah. There's that sign that's hanging up here in the rafters. That is a good size sign too, with it being at 98 inches long by 14 inches high. $1,500 on that wooden sign for Stoughton wagons. And that's $1,500 to the internet.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break in the action, but don't go anywhere. We're in Walworth, Wisconsin for Mecum's Gone Farmin. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Mecum's Gone Farmin right here in Walworth, Wisconsin. As the next tractor makes its way up, we won't waste any time. Let's get back to all the action. Bringing us to lot S99. It's a Farmall 140.
Yeah, and of course the 140, that's eventually what the Super A became. This tractor here kind of got a farm shop restoration on it. The paint's not real bright on it, but I did drive this tractor in. It did drive nice. And of course a nice little tractor here for doing some vegetable work, cultivating and stuff like that. It does have an aftermarket 3-point setup on it. $1,700 bid right now.
And right now it's sitting at $1,800. Of course, the engine's been completely rebuilt on this one.
And I do believe the reserve was just pulled on this tractor.
Sir, $1,900. You want the tractor, $1,900. The tractor sells today. $1,900 a bid. Bid 19 bid. I'm giving it $19, 18, 19. I have. Sold $1,800. Sold $1,800 Rachel's way.
And it's going to go over to Rachel's way for $1,800. Bringing us to lot S100. We've hit the 3-digit mark here at Mecum's Gone Farmin, Wisconsin, bringing us to this 1971 John Deere 4020 row crop.
Yeah, and this one here comes from I believe this is the one that comes from a friend of mine down in Stewart, Illinois. He bought this tractor out of Texas, I believe, and it was a pretty rough-looking unit, and this is about a 2-week turnaround on this tractor from kind of a rust bucket to what it looks like now with the paint, dual hydraulics. Of course, the 4020, very popular tractor here with Mecum Gone Farmin. Does have the dual high intake manifold, power shift, 38-inch rear tires, new wires, documented engine overhaul. So very, very clean, straight-looking tractor. $20,000 bid, pretty much right out of the gate here. And actually, I was mistaken. This is not my friend's tractor. This is another 4020 that's coming through here. Of course, it's a 71 side console, so. And of course, on another interesting piece on these tractors, the Power Shift 4020s, the clutch pedal was not called the clutch pedal. It was actually called an inching pedal. Because with the Power Shift, technically you could go from neutral to forward or reverse without ever hitting the clutch. So that was only used when you were backing up to equipment or had to move real slow and just inch along. $20,500.
And they're going to close it out at $20,500, and the bid will go on that one. S101, it's a 1939 Ford 9N.
Yeah, and of course, 39 Ford 9N would have been one of the first years of production of the N series. This one here with a looks like original rubber all the way around. Kind of a nice looking restoration. And of course, these were all painted gray before they came out with the 8N. Then they started with the red belly on them. And of course, you'll see a lot of 9Ns that end up getting painted with that treatment because everyone liked the way it looked on the 8Ns. They went and repainted their 9Ns that color. So $2,000 bid on this 39 9N. $22.5 on that 9N.
And here comes another original John Deere. It's lot S102. It's a 1951 John Deere A wide front.
Yeah, and of course this is another tractor caught my eye because I like these good original ones. That wide front on this has really never been touched. Looked like it was pretty well tight. Original rear tires on it. 90% tread left on it. I always like that too with these John Deeres. You watch those fenders just kind of shake a little bit when that tractor's sitting there running. And that's selling at no reserve, $1,800. Not a bad price on an A John Deere. You go through, clean that up a little bit, and bring her back and probably make a little bit of money back on it. Now at $2,000. $2,200, selling at no reserve. $2,600. We've got Ben Mecum standing up there, taking a phone bid. Just passed on $2,600 on that A with a factory-wide front, original condition. And that'll bring in S103 as a 1960 John Deere 530. Very nice looking tractor. No fenders on this. No 3-point either, but still a nice straight tractor. We're at $6,500 bid right now on it. See if I can come up with a little more information on this tractor for us, Mike.
I believe that the bidders bidding on this one understand this is a mechanically excellent condition. This tractor really runs well, been very well taken care of. It's got an older restoration on it, but they are moving this one as it starts to roll slowly out.
The paint still looks good on this tractor too, so for being an older restoration.
And they're at 7,100. And it moves out at $7,100, bringing us to a Farmall 656, lot S104.
Yeah, and of course the Farmall 656 was a very popular tractor, especially around our area here with the dairy farmers. Or my grandpa had a 656 gas that he ran a lot of years. He bought it brand new in 1969. I think when we finally got rid of it after he passed away, that tractor had 16,000 hours on it, and the TA had never been touched. The engine had been overhauled 4 times. This one here has a 3-point hitch on it. This is a very nice original tractor with a good TA, selling at no reserve.
Well, Max, this is, you just mentioned this is the original condition of the tractor, which is something a little bit more rare for this auction because most of these Farmalls that have come through have been meticulously restored. This one in its original condition, and still bringing a great price here through the auction block.
Yeah, $3,500 right now.
And he moves it out at $3,500, bringing us to lot S105, which is an Alice Chalmers 8. These seem to do really well, Max. I anticipate this one going pretty well.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice looking little tractor. Restoration's been done pretty much, not a flaw in it. Looks like it might be a little bit older restoration here by some of the pictures, but still got a nice shine to it. $1,500.
And it sells out at $1,500. Kind of a quick sale there, bringing us to lot S106. I believe this is an interesting tractor, Max. It's a 1935 Twin City, and this is one of those unique ones that seem to come through. I'm really interested to see what this tractor goes for.
Yeah, and what this is a Twin City. I believe it to be a model, or a universal Twin City they call them. This one here kind of got the narrow rear end on it. I've not seen one like that before. Of course, Twin City eventually became Minneapolis Moline. And you look at this, and that is just a big, old tractor right there. You look at that, it's pretty much all engine, all cast iron all the way back. Rebuilt new magneto with new paint, so.
And with that, Max, we're going to take a quick break, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be back with Mecum's Gone Farmin right after this. You can hear behind us making its presence known as the next one coming through here. I love this one also, Max. It's lot S107. It's a 1935 Farmall F12. And this one is a stunner. I've seen a lot of people out around this tractor here.
Yeah, and of course the F12 that stood for the Farmall 12 had the adjustable rear wheels to change for your cultivating with or whatever application you were putting it in. Original rear tires on it. Looks like probably on cut-off steel. $500, selling at no reserve. This one here is another one with rebuilt magneto and new paint, selling at no reserve, $750. A little bit of humor there from Lance.
And selling out at $750 original, bringing us to lot S. 107.1 is McCormick 1020. Probably either the big or little brother, what we just saw.
That would be the big brother to it, Mike, and actually the 1020, what the model designation back when these tractors were built, the model designation a lot of time represented what the horsepower of the tractor was. So this one here would have been 10 horsepower on the drawbar, 20 horsepower on the belt. Recently repainted, rebuilt magneto, new tires, and new paint. So the 1020s, those were a pretty popular little tractor. Actually, as we're sitting here and you look at that radiator, you see that steam coming out of there. I'll tell you what, back then, the guys that were farming, men were men. These were hand start tractors. You actually had to adjust the magnetos and play with the timing a little bit to get them where they ran good and would start good. So $1,500 on this no reserve on the 1020.
And it goes out at $1,500, bringing us up to lot S108, which another showstopper, a 1937 John Deere B, Max.
Yeah, and of course I've spent a lot of time growing up around a 1937 B, just a fun little tractor to drive. Granted, top speed on these is about 6.25 miles an hour, and I have spent a couple of cold mornings in October driving one of these about 6 miles to a tractor show. This is a restored short frame B with new Firestone Field and Road tires, flat back, which means it has no hydraulic out of the back of it, no rock shaft, rebuilt carbon mag, excellent running short frame B. Selling at no reserve, we're at $1,600 right now. $2,000 bid right now. And that's going to sell for $2,000 Rachel's way.
And that's going to bring up lot S109, a 1967 Case 930 XT wide front.
And of course the Case 930s, these tractors here were very popular around this area and points west. Build up the road here in Racine, Wisconsin. This one here selling at no reserve. This is a diesel model, partially restored with PTO. It looked like when it came by here, it looked like the engine has been apart, so some engine work has been done. And this one here is what they call the Comfort King, that seat set up a little higher. $2,000 on that.
And if you're following us along on Mecum.com, this next one you'll notice doesn't have a picture because I don't think pictures are going to do this one justice. It's lot S110. It's a 1970 John Deere 4020. This is a beautiful tractor, Max.
Yeah, another beautiful restoration. I believe this one is actually that friend of mine's that I was talking about. Was 2 weeks ago. This thing was just kind of rusty and fresh out of the field. And he did pretty much a 2-week paint job and got her ready to come here. Dual hydraulics, 3-point on this tractor. Synchro range with the side console. Dual hydraulics, new Firestone tires, new lights, gauges, rebuilt starter and alternator. So a lot of the work's been done here. We got Rachel over here doing a little bit of work on one of the bidders. So $15,000.
Which I absolutely think is a steal. That is a gorgeous tractor, restored in every single way. It's someone's going to get them. And
the reserve comes off and it sells at $15,000.
Great price on that tractor, bringing us up to lot S112, which is a 1962 Ford 2000 high crop. This is another one of those. Actually, I'm wrong. I got ahead of myself there.
Yep. S111 is a John Deere A, long hood with the pressed steel rear wheels. Does look like it has the Baker valve on it, judging by that lever off to the side. Battery is tucked up underneath the hood. They're not sure on why it's not running, but selling at no reserve.
I knew something was going on when they brought it out. I was expecting to see a blue tractor, and I saw a green one. And I knew right away something was awry.
Looks like this thing's got pretty much original rear rubber on it. $1,500 on a long hood A. Lance letting everyone know no reserve so they can bid with confidence. If they are the winning bidder, that tractor will go home with them.
And of course, we got a nice little toddler still under warranty with its headset on up there talking to Paul. I'm not sure who's going to be smarter in that conversation.
And of course, that is actually Dan's little boy Levi. So
he came right here, right by the announcer's desk, and I did not recognize him, but I do now.
That one's going to sell at $1,500.
And that's going to bring us up to the Ford tractor I was talking about, which is lot S112, a 1962 Ford 2000 high crop. Here it comes, and it's hard to miss that blue, Max.
Oh, yeah, and this one here, 2000 high crop with the offset seat with cultivators on it, one-row cultivator. Looks like new rubber all the way around, selling at no reserve, Mike. So guys got her cleaned up, bringing it here and just seeing what it's going to bring. So $3,000 right now.
S113, the next no reserve tractor up for auction. The next tractor sold 1950 model Ford 871 original tractor, original tires, good paint. Believed to be 650 original tires. 871 was the intro to the list.
And that's going to bring in lot S113, another tractor at no reserve, an 871 Selecto Speed with the gold demonstrator paint on it. $1,750, $2,000. And not many of these tractors around with that original gold demonstrator type paint on them. So
I'm not sure you can tell by the, yeah, actually you can as the camera kind of moves over to the front of that. It's got a unique paint job on that. I'll tell you, that gold is pretty neat.
Yeah, and it was kind of made so that people would see when that tractor was on someone's farm that was from the dealership as a demonstrator type tractor. Original paint on that. The paint's good on it. Believed to have 650 original hours. And the 871 was the first one to introduce the Selecto Speed.
We got to be 5,000.
47.5 bid on that right now.
Sold at 47.50. Sold at 47.50. Thank you. Good job, Bob.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for today's show. Be sure to tune in next week to Mecum's Gone Farmin Classic Tractor Auction. And on behalf of myself, my co-host Max Wilson, we'll see you next time.